God forbid there is a skirmish, not only here in our town, but in our state or across the country, and we need to defend our homestead. The way the property is set up, we have things that will alert us well in advance to let us know somebody is here. This is common. You can buy these on Amazon or wherever. They're called driveway alarms. One of them is right here. So it shoots an infrared beam all the way across, and when the beam is broken, it sets off a sound in the house. And this is one of multiple security cameras it will track.
And how many of those do you have around the property?
Quite a few, as well as others that are more high-tech and you can't even see them. My number one responsibility as a man, as a father, as a husband, is to protect my family. We have a system in place. We have ample time to arm ourselves and go on the offense. So if a marauding gang wanders onto this property, they just made the worst mistake of their life. This would be the last place they would want to come. One of my grandfathers planted in us a seed, and he said they don't make dirt anymore. Everybody should have their own piece of land. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to what we call Zion. This is our peace on earth right now. As you can see, we're pretty remote and rural. It's very peaceful and quiet, and allows us to slow down in life. We're pretty far back off the road. We're on about 5 acres. We have a lot of trees on the property that are well over 100 years old. Give you a look at the well system, which basically is a hole in the ground and a pipe. This is what we use for water day to day, cooking, cleaning, bathing, hygiene. It's a sense of freedom, knowing you don't have to pay for a God-given resource, which we shouldn't have to anyway. And I'm actually thinking about digging a second well by hand. In the prepping community, you know, we say 2 is 1 and 1 is none. See, you want redundancy on everything. Let me grab a box here for harvesting, because we have plenty to harvest. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, inner city. Both parents were professionals, and I was the youngest of 4 kids. All of us went to Catholic schools. We're towards the end of gardening season. Yeah, that's a beautiful tomato right there. Growing up as a kid, I never thought of societal collapse. We didn't have cell phones. There was no 24-hour news. Our parents, they let us be kids. Of course, we've got cherry tomatoes over here. Oh, these are beefsteak tomatoes that are definitely ready to be harvested. In that era, we had several family members that came up from the South. My grandparents had gardens. This is a jalapeno, gentlemen. My grandmother and my great aunts would can everything from the garden. So prepping, I didn't know what it was other than it was food that they were producing for the family. So I spent years learning and watching and experimenting. As you can see up here, these are some of the items that we have canned. These are actually potatoes that we've canned in 2022. These happen to be bell peppers that we grew, and we also grow our own cucumbers and made pickles. So in this particular freezer, we keep a lot of protein. We keep meat, chicken, turkey, sausage, you know, your typical family food. And with the OUPES Mega 1, if there's a power outage, this will allow me to plug this in and power our freezer. If you heard the click, it kicked on. The freezer is running, and it literally tells me here on the OUPES that at 100%, it will power this freezer for 2 hours. There's also larger OUPES generators that will power it for longer. The event that caused me to start prepping was Hurricane Katrina, 2006. When I saw the displacement, the people on their roof crying out for help, and unfortunately, the people that didn't make it through. People were not prepared, although they live in hurricane country. But the thing that stood out more was how ill-prepared the government was. That is the first time in my life after seeing that it made me feel vulnerable. And that sent me on the journey of prepping. In any event of any disaster, natural disaster, man-made disaster, it could be a power grid hack, some type of Trojan horse that's been there, that's just waiting, that systemically and systematically takes down the power grid completely across the country. Reports have shown that if there's a nationwide blackout, 10% of the population is going to be dead within the first 60 to 90 days. I don't want to be in that statistic, nor my family or my loved ones. And that is why we have a plan. So over here we have our main source of backup emergency power, okay? This is a Genrec, a whole house generator. If we lose power within 5 seconds, this will kick on. This is great, but we also use solar generators because, this has its limitation. As long as there's propane, this will run. With solar generators, you have infinite recharge capability, and we can always recharge our solar generators with our solar panels. So also in a grid down situation, the OUPES Mega 1 comes in real handy, especially if you have to work on mechanical equipment at night to make a repair. You can take your OUPES Mega 1 and power a light source, and then you can fix what needs to be fixed and lock it up. And I'm actually working with a friend of mine on a project to go completely off-grid with electric. How has prepping changed my perspective of the world? It gave me an insurance policy. We all have insurance policies. Why not insurance that your family and my family can eat tomorrow? Now, the knowledge I have, I share with anybody that'll listen. And I learn from others every day. As a prepper, you're never done, and that's okay. We know that. So I'm always saying, what can I do better? What are my mistakes? What are my flaws? What do I need to fix? What do I need to get better at? What do I need to learn how to do? Project OUPES Help takes 5% of their earnings and puts back into the community, meaning the United States of America, towards anybody who may not be able to afford backup power for whatever it could be. If you have an emergency medical device that needs to run 24 hours a day, you can apply through Project OUPES Help. They will take care of you and send you a free solar generator. And I do have a YouTube channel, and I know 2 of my subscribers personally have been helped through OUPES Help. What OUPES does, not only product-wise quality, but giving back to the community, that's what gives me the confidence to spend my money with them, because OUPES will help.